Open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find love, 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 love. Listen to the music of the moment, people dance and sing. We're just one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be love, 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 love.
The mainstream schooling system for me was sort of too rigid a model for who I was. Like, you know, all of my quirks are out here, and sort of I'm being forced to sort of toe the line, be normal, do what everyone does, like get the right grades in these certain subjects and care about this instead of that. And it really crushed me. It made me feel like, you know, I was born wrong because I couldn't learn in the way that they wanted me to learn. I thought I was stupid, to be honest. You know, it's so impersonal. There's no one there going, no, it's okay. There are other kids just like you that don't fit in. You know, at that age you don't know. You know, you get out of high school and you meet all these people who didn't fit in, and it's like, why didn't anyone tell me that when I was going through education? I just thought I was this freak, you know, that didn't belong anywhere.
I can live in that spot and not even be warm, but I'm that close to the flame. And you can't know that until you experience it, and of that educationally I'm convinced. And I reckon that's where Indigenous culture and Indigenous education went one step further than what we do in ours. It taught via experience. So just have a little go, light the match, be at the side, and then be underneath, and experience what it's like to be that close to the flame.
Well, if two things work together, they can achieve greater things than two people separate.
Beautiful. You join flames, two flames together, and they will make 3 flames worth of flame. And again, that's how fire works, that when one area of fire hits another area of fire, you actually get 3 fires worth of energy coming out of it. And it's the same with our group. So as a culture, as an Indigenous culture, the closer we are in this experience we're having today, the more likely we are to have what I call an aha experience. That is where you step beyond being 6 individuals and we instead become one group as powerful as 60 people. Yeah. And within that group, the individual can express themselves.
Ziza.
it sort of made me feel like I didn't really matter to them as a person. Not even really as a student. I sort of felt like my mark mattered to them more than my well-being or my understanding of whatever knowledge it was that I was sort of being given. You know, just this whole idea that you don't really matter. You know, it was this recurring theme that I didn't realize I had in my life. You know, I think I probably just made that realization about 10 seconds ago about that recurring thing. Because, you know, I was getting it in school, I was getting it from dancing, you know, and that's the nature of dancing. Like that is what so many prima ballerinas and, you know, top performers in the world have thrived on, is that constant discipline. It's not good enough, do better, you know. But I guess that wasn't the way it worked for me. So I was in this system that was hurting me, and I'm like, it's okay because everyone else does it and it's fine.
We have the same thing. There are levels of experience. Your hard ones, I find, sink to the bottom, but they stay there. And they kind of form the basis of your character. It's like, have you ever seen a tree that's growing up like this and then something's happened to it as it's growing and it trunks out this way, or it's got a big bulb in it, or it moves around and not like that? That's a natural way to grow. When something is in you and it's hurting, it'll stay there and we'll develop around it. What we are trying to do in this evening's activity is to temporarily, or perhaps forever, remove that negative thing. And sometimes you take it out and there's such a big hole there, you want to put it back because you've turned the negative into a positive. How so? How do you see that?
Growing up in an abusive family.
Do you remember what it's like to be a child?
No, I try and forget it.
Was it anger? Yeah. And who was it directed at, do you think?
Myself.
And I guess in an Indigenous culture, what I would love for you to be able to take from this is that when you're beaten as a kid, or you see people beaten and you're a kid, it is a horrible thing, but it's almost a gift that says you are now the protector of yourself and those around you from that environment.
My name is Kayla Shakan. I've been living in this broad area of Cottles Bridge, St Andrews for the last 40 odd years. And I have two children, and one, Aaron, is 39 and my daughter Gypsy is 29. And both of them have gone through regular schooling in the state school system. But both of them were being crushed. I could see their beautiful spirits just contracting, and my daughter particularly was becoming ill. So I decided to send her to the Hurstbridge Learning Cooperative, where she had the opportunity to express herself without the confinement of a structure of classroom. This situation with this school, they had one coordinator and then the parents offered their skills. So the children were given the opportunity to relate to many different people with different life experiences and different skills, which broadened their horizons. And so there weren't, we often get tired of one another. To have one teacher in a classroom day after day, month after month, for a year or two, is often, it's too intense for both student and teacher. So this gave everyone a lot more freedom.
Look at you.
And we made the seats.
What's your favourite thing to cook on the fire?
Potato. We slice a banana open and stuff it with chocolate, and then you wrap it up in foil and put it in the fire. Then you take it out and eat it.
So the opportunity to flow with learning, have many people offer them different skills, to move, to visit different places, especially to connect into a natural environment. Because my feeling is if once we get our children connected to the natural environment, then we will stop much of the harm on the planet. When children learn to feel, to be naturally in their environment, to feel the sacredness, then very few will harm after they've had that experience.
As much as, young adults, young teenagers still need to learn how to survive on their own, it's still so important to be nurtured. You need to be nurtured, and it's an adult's responsibility to nurture those younger than them, I think. Especially when you're someone who's chosen the career path of teaching. You go, I want to be a teacher and I'm going to teach the youth these things, but teaching is nurturing, Nurturing is helping them grow. It's like, how do you expect to grow a tree unless you're willing to water that flower, to water that seed every day?
If we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long. I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on.
It's a balancing act. All I would say along the journey is when in doubt, turn to nature before you turn to anything else.
We've got to learn to live in community together.